So many champions in this one. This is the conclusion of Group D. And we're not getting the Pearl that we thought we were from Loud. This composition is such a shift, and they've instantly taken Street.
Seems like they're going to split that way. The Haunt's already been cleared, and they're just really aggressive up Link. Aspas has already gotten the first kill. Zipan's got a lot to deal with. CNET tucked, able to get two in an excellent response.
Loud not caring at all about the util that Navi hit him with. The dart getting down B long, and that knife suppressing everything. So no stars, no smokes. And unfortunately for them, no more players either. 2v3 is going to be tough to get back in when the spike's on site.
Les is playing pretty far back. They've got the spike surrounded. Tui's is going to have to make a move, or maybe just buy some time for Les to reposition.
Yeah, but he can't get caught when the smoke falls.
Yeah, because then the play's essentially over. A delicate dance for the controller for Loud. Has to stay alive, has to draw attention, and do so without losing his life in the process.
30 seconds left.
Les now has arrived. 30 seconds left. The first swing is going to be a little bit of a tag, but not much more. Les falls to, he's left by himself. A 1v3 will not.
Have CNET against the Brazilians. The 2021 champion versus the 2022 champions as well. He just ripped them to the Rays that's capable to actually challenge. No, on Pearl, this is CNET's playground.
Lots of info off that knife to open the round.
That's the second time, too. The first one, they got 3 suppressed inside of Street. Here, 4 at the beginning, but they did get that orb at least.
Oh, and I like how Navi played that, too. The information that they got on A allows them to take so much space down B long. They just grabbed the orb down B long. They've taken all that space. They've left CNET here. It's very nicely handled.
The tug of war between the macro games of these two teams so far, actually very interesting, you're right. 1 for 1 on the orbs, and Loud know they don't have that space, so they have to go recommit towards the safe side. Another split.
Here the flash pop, Xiao feeling some of the pressure. There's power in numbers for Loud. Question is, how much more can they find? Navi still have 2 members that are playing backside. Courtesy of Zipan and Tugetsu.
Oh.
And the spam through off the C's is really nice.
Spike planted.
We've got something on our hands here, folks.
Les is heating up.
It's just CNET and Angel that are left. And you remember, you go back to the beginning of the round, they were the ones who were opportunistic in their space gathering.
Yeah, and with the way that Navi like to buy here, I'm maybe considering a save instantly here. Because Angel and Sugetsu save on this attempt at the anti-eco. So they'll be able to buy next, and CNET with a Vandal too. Yeah, he's backing off. Angel's gonna keep this Bulldog, pick it up, and that's still gonna result in a good buy, but Loud just rip apart this anti-eco.
And they did so with nothing but a Marshal in the hands of Aspas, and he didn't really do a ton of it. Maybe a little bit of damage, but yeah, it was all the pistols.
And they're chasing down the guns too. This could be critical.
Let's see if they can grab any
for somebody else. And look at these shots from Les. He's full blind there. The C's gets a connection, and he gets that spam.
That second shot was so nice.
What a monster. You're not running the double controller. You're not running the Harbor Viper. He's almost the sole lurker with Tui's too.
They're going to try to regress and take this fight a little bit delayed. After the dump of utility at the beginning of the round, as the barriers drop, Angel's Guardian cleans up Sada.
That's ridiculous. Again, 2 players saved here from Navi, by the way. So they have worse weaponry in this round, for sure. And the interesting thing there is they're going for a re-clear. Normally they do that with Angel's drone.
Spike down A.
And he's just using the Guardian to take them all down instead.
We're about to have one of those vintage Angel games where he just pops off.
Boy, I hope so. Look at Les. He just got through A main to clear art, which allows them to get on this site. But Zipan, is he aware of this angle? He is, but not aware enough. A little bit of a whiff shot there.
Angel with the dart, nothing tagged. Les playing very cautiously beneath it. That's going to be a kill on Xiao. Les is still very weak. And while Loud are making a run at this, there's still so much work that has to be done. Yeah, and it just went from bad to worse. Tui's is going to have to 1v3 if they want to pull this off, and it just got a little bit more difficult. That crossfire.
Might be because these first kills come in so fast from Angel, but for Loud there, I mean, obviously losing Sadak early kind of takes away from the punch you're going to have from Aspas. They're got the lockdown, and that's what they're going to try to favor. CNED's in a position on top. Gets away from the stun, and now he can go up.
So you got two with Killjoy Utility and CNED with the height advantage on Aspas. That was the rifle.
Look at that, too. That's a dart going up. Even if CNED doesn't peek on the right timing there, you have a player looking backwards to break that dart while he peeks. Nice combination. With just one dart, making sure you're doing something off of it. That's NAVI on Pearl to a T.
Sadak picked up the Vandal, and he's playing from further back. Tui's getting one with the Sheriff.
Les can get activated too. I mean, he was the hero in the last one. I think the intention was to get that lockdown down on B.
I mean, if Les plays his cards right here, he should be able to grab the weapon that was dropped by Sugetsu. I thought they were going to try to control it a little bit more. Angel was posted up on it, and you see the rotation through. As Angel goes off, CNED fills in on the space, and Les really doesn't have a way to get in to grab that weapon.
What's the intention here, though, from Loud? Because they go throw the stun over here, 30 seconds. Tui's is on the other side of the map. I'm confused, very confused on what the intention here is. Tui's maybe a late flank if they get the site, but they've got to get the site first.
Yeah, that's a really big if. And they're going to have to do so in the face of 4 Navi members who have full weaponry. Kawanzin has already fallen, 14 seconds left. They've got to commit to getting the spike down very soon. Shao with the spam, not landing. But it's going to be enough to reposition. I don't think they're going to get the spike down, not at this rate. Sadak's got to commit, and he can't. The pressure from Angel was just too much. And there's just not going to be enough time.
Very unique on this map.
Oh, I thought they were going to keep that attack side off for Aspas, but at the very last second, switch back to the Vandal.
The fact that he's even considering it as an option is pretty interesting, given he opted one time in Masters Tokyo over 2 series.
You see the setup for Navi defensively. They're concerned with what's happening mid. Not really willing to give up that space or fight for it as much as they can. Sadak and Loud hold, excuse me, Aspas. Jeez, what a brutal opener.
Yeah, that's huge. Completely controlling mid here. CNED with the off, though.
And now they know.
And that's the breach ult, too, so if they wanted an execute, suddenly that's gone. Look at the spacing right now still. Trying to get through, make sure there's nobody fighting sewers. That's why Kawanzin's waiting for Les here to regroup with Aspas. But they're going to choose to go into CNED.
But it's just CNED. And it's just CNED with 45 HP, no armor.
He can stay here.
And they know. You see it pinging on the minimap. Aware of what the gaps are in this ult.
He does have a molly. Les does, so does he have a lineup for it? I don't think so.
And you see they're even freezing on this. Wait, they're just going to peek into this? 2 Cloudbursts out to obscure vision. CNED's still healthy. The fact that he survived as long as he has is massive because he continued to make plays.
They're so scared. Plant's still not down, Doug.
CNED's going to be able to feast if they continue to wait. Les finally cleans him up. Numbers in favor of Loud, although less weak. Just 5 HP. But the spike planted, you see if there's any utility that's going to dump up on top of it. Zipon's going to get cleaned up. Kawanzin gets...
But what a swing round to win. Look at the plant position. It's crazy that they end up planting there where he's kind of in the open to players from spawn. But he's protected against CNED, and they don't choose to try to flush him out. And we might get early picks again.
Oh,
down
what a
hard.
trap!
There's a dash.
The flash and the Haunt.
Spike down mid.
Both Jets activated knives and dashed into mid. And we come through with Loud actually behind in this one, despite getting the first kill.
That was so mad. Hopefully we get a good look at that one more time because that was just so fast. But through the quiet, CNED still has his blades. Aspas not nearly as fortunate. Rolling Thunder online for Loud still.
They have to start being able to get success with these dry walks, and
Oh, that's not the success they were looking for.
that's not the way to do it, no.
And that's another instance in which Sadak dies with the Rolling Thunder. Mind you, they haven't really had the opportunity to execute with it, but
The dart for the spam, oh my goodness, Tui's in trouble there.
instantly cleared. Sugetsu hasn't, however. He's still playing backside. Now understanding some of the presence. Angel with the Hunter's Fury. Not going to tag on anyone, but it was enough to bait it out. Just a tap. Now where do they go from here? Ults, or excuse me, Spike still in the hands of Les.
This smoke is going to fade from a CNED.
I mean, you're pushing into this 4-player defense. Well, 3 now.
Still haven't planted.
And there's still so much to do. I mean, Tui swings into a high-low that you wouldn't be expecting in a situation like that, and it's so miserable to deal with. Les, you've been good, but man.
Peeking after they get the advantage, and Loud holding on for so long to make something out of that round. This early engagement is just ridiculous.
Man, what a mess of an opener.
The fact is,
Kawanzin and the aforementioned both with ult still.
they're
And
aggroing
Navi,
again.
yep, and continuing to do so down mid of all places. Aspas is here though. But it seems like Navi are taking a step back.
I wonder if this is a complete read. Look, 5 stacking from Navi. That's why they're backing off right now. Realizing they have so much space on this A side. And CNED will scramble back towards the B. I think that was definitely a miscalculation. At the beginning of the round, an Angel versus Aspas. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we're having one of those Angel games, man.
We definitely are, 8-4. It's just crazy.
Talk about how he's rolling back the years and all that stuff. Angel seems to be in really good form right now. 85 HP, fishing for another. It's finally, he gets it.
And that's ahead of the stun there from Kawanzin again. He's peeking past double doors before Sadak deploys the fault line.
So once again, a lot of pressure and a lot of ask on the shoulders of Les.
That's good for him to have broken that molly before the rest of his team
left.
got here. Are they going to breach hold? Are they going to do anything to get on this? Look, Navi's playing so far back, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and in a 3v4 where Tui's has 5
You
HP.
want to fight it?
They're going to use the wall too, but not blocking out flowers, so they are spammable here. 15 seconds.
Gravity well the back. They dump some of that util. Les just took so much damage from one shock dart, man. Where do they go from here? How do Navi find a way out from this? As it seems like Angel's gonna be the late lurk, but Les is ready for it. Angel's just quicker on the draw. 3 on the round for him. And surely if you're Loud, you cut your losses. You don't continue into this.
They have breach hold. They're going to use it. Looks like maybe off the stun, maybe off a kill.
This is just so difficult to deal with. And yeah, Angel.
Rounds. And I think Loud need a timeout because this is to me looking dire. The amount of missed peaks, mistimed pieces of utility.
And what else do Loud do on the other side of this timeout?
Bring them down.
Fast Prowler towards Link. So gets you waiting to see if there's a dumpy utility. That's a second Prowler they just used to clear out, and I don't know that they've really gotten very much space with it at all.
Yeah, but Sugetsu's alone, so if they continue to follow up on this, he's going to have to pull out a multi-kill with nothing.
Sugetsu, 1.
Where's the trade?
That's easy enough. That aftershock is going to help. What? Oh, the gravity wall is the only thing that stopped him from getting a third.
But again, people peeking ahead. They had that aftershock prep the entire time. Tui's and Sadak literally util out, so when I asked where's the trade, it's not coming. But yet they're still peeking.
Angel with a glowing Vandal looking to add on to it, and he does.
Absolutely a flat start here from Loud out of what is a very expected matchup, one we haven't seen from two teams who have had so much success internationally, even this year. At lock-in, Loud, runner-up, Navi, 3rd, 4th place. And here we are, an elimination game, the first time we see these two teams playing, and Navi feel like they're running away with it.
Left.
Such drastically different expectations, and it's a game that is often decided by form on the day. And right now, it just seems like Loud are still in bed, man.
Got one.
Other than Les. Les really seems to be the only bright spot in an otherwise brutal start for Loud.
That's interesting, too, because, yeah, they're getting rounds because of the heroics.
Yep.
And love this. Just closing this out very easily, putting the Cosmic Divide up, checking exactly what he's going to do, waiting for that pull to come out. He could play off this very well, though.
Is he going to 1v2 this? Take it around? Oof.
Come now, come on. Diffuse, diffuse.
So much for Shao to work with.
Dude, this 2K by Sugetsu is just dumb.
It shouldn't happen.
No, especially that kill onto Kawanzin.
Granted, it was a nasty shot. And Angel's still frying as well, but yeah, when you come into this with an
Everything correctly.
starting to have so many tools too to deal with some of these situations that Loud is putting them in. And if they're going to play slow, I mean, these retake ults are massive. This lockdown, the Hunter's Fury from Angel, it's brutal. Sadak still hasn't used his breach hold. He's had it since like round 5 or so.
Yeah, Kawanzin has had his since like 6 or 7. He's been holding on to that one for a little while too.
They're not even on site.
Invested, and it's going to be in a round where Sadak has only a sheriff. Yeah, there are a couple of other guns flanking it and surrounding it, but it's used to get onto the site. There's no counter to this Hunter's Fury. Sadak's dead. But they got the spike down. They also invested the Nightfall. They're throwing everything into this round.
Yeah.
Desperately needing to find success.
They can start playing art. I'm wondering where Sugetsu chooses to use his lockdown if he does, and he does. Not pushing the player's art or A main back too far, though.
Keep an eye on Kawanzin. He's going exploring.
A turret just got put up, though.
He's going hunting. Sugetsu's ready for it. He clears out the turret. Unfortunately for him, Sugetsu took a step back.
That's pressure on the back line they have to deal with now. They have to be aware. They're going to go for the defuse, though.
They're not concerned for it at all. They're just turning their attention towards the site, and it's going to work out. Zipben's already gotten it halfway.
Yeah, the Gravel didn't come out in time. Navi!
Les, the spam there cleans up one, but still has so much to do. Did he buy enough time? It's so close. 0.64.
And it's domination right now.
Enemy remaining.
Unreal.
It's got to have been a cooldown, too, in my mind.
Yeah, 1000%.
That's just crazy. They were relying on that.
Where are
And Loud is going to have to try to do something different, go into CNED for potentially the first time. CNED's been getting free reign on this B long side. We haven't really paid attention to it because Loud is just taking mid or A. But half the time, he's deep B long, getting so much information for his team, allowing a full stack towards A.
And he's been patient with it, too. He doesn't take B long and then continue to push into spawn. He just holds the space. Contains what Loud are trying to do on the attacking side.
Unless they're coming back to him right now because he has that lockdown, but another A push means another A retake potential. They're going to use it for the post plant, which I love, instead using the flash, and there's finally a go button from Loud here.
Yeah, I like this too. Perhaps seeing that there was no one on site in the previous round, given the Rolling Thunder they invested, they're a bit more cautious in what they spend this time around. Still an op in the hands of CNED. Keep an eye on that, Sadak. Trying to push his way forward. They invest the Cosmic Divide too as Angel falls. Sadak on the swing. Oh, gun barrel spotted. Sugetsu on the swing. The kill in favor of Sadak. That was right next to him. But he takes a step back. Now gonna re-aggress. That op barrel's really long. The Seas and the Prowler getting info on the other side of the wall.
A nice pivot there too to use that Nanostorm to push him back even further. That will be the round here. And Navi's gonna try to do damage. Remember, Loud has struggled to get rounds put together. If they lost weapons here, they'd really hurt. Whereas Navi, plenty. And that's what I was expecting the entire time. Where was this execute? Where was something to do with the breach and fade to just push yourself on site?
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, Navi get it again.
This time it's going to be towards B though, and remember the op is here for CNED.
Good shock.
Fault line to push him off the angle, has to dash away. So space gathered.
Look at the damage that shock did, and he might even get even more on Aspas. Aspas down to 68 HP, Sadak 92.
Dude, Angel's just got like heat-seeking utility right now. Prowler's gonna go real far away. Take a step back. Angel with the dart. They're gonna try to flood up behind it, the snap onto the first.
Take flight.
And now the drone to follow. Shao is still so far away from the play, but they're waiting for Navi to all gather up and then push forward.
Shao's one kill off of a Cosmic Divide.
here?
That will ruin the B-Long player's ability to play into this.
Oh, I mean, it's done if they get that. Final boss down, Aspas 68 HP, still playing backside. Valentine close by. The swing out, and Zipen and Shao get both. A 3v2 here, and Cena taking a lot of damage, and there's the Cosmic Divide that you were just referring to. They have to push ahead of it, but they don't know that Cena's in the smoke! First shot goes wide, but it buys time, it's a distraction.
They don't know
Nothing
they're
but
off.
a fade. They have to face check it, a 1-for-1, 2-he swing.
Back up.
It's heroics though, Bala. I mean, I guess if the heroics are going to continue to work, sure.
In the game plan in these last 2 rounds, much more emphasis on hitting with the breach, with the fade. These sort of tools, they get you the sites so frequently. Force them to play these retakes. Force them to play the advantage or the disadvantage of this map, which is those B-Long post plants. They're so tough. They're expecting a push here, Doug. Navi,
Revealing area.
they get some peeks into mid, but they don't go even further. And Loud was waiting for it. Tui's was just sitting there. Look how deep they've got Aspas. Something interesting is about to happen. Potentially a fake, potentially another deep flank that we saw in Pistol Round with a different player.
They got the Nightfall in line for Kalanzine. It seems like that was all they were really concerned about. And now flipping of the map, you see the abundance of money. They're dropping of the op for more of a reliable weapon. Well, that's a nice haunt too. Is anybody getting some tag? I mean, surely you know that the hit's this way now. You see it for Navi, they're starting to scatter and rotate over towards B. Nightfall dropped, it's gonna hit what, 1, 2? Zipan just dropped Aspas as he was dashing into his face. 2 members of Loud already down. Loud, Navi.
Perfect. He gets back out behind the screen after this first kill, using Aspas's smoke to do so. Look at that shot.
It's just mad too. I mean, a different timing on the dash and he doesn't see him, right? The
They've been getting online.
Yeah, sure.
They've got to feel kind of like they've lost that backing from the community in terms of expecting them to be able to win a tournament like this.
Well, also, I imagine in a lot of ways, failing to meet the expectations they set when these rosters were put together. When they departed on their maiden voyage. And they find themselves in a position now where one of these two teams will not make the dock.
Look at Navi right now. They've already collected both orbs. They've collected control of both A main and B main. And now they can regroup with the spike that's still laying in spawn. They've maintained mid control as well from the barriers, so they have a pretty good idea of what's going on. Meanwhile, Loud have this trap set up off the turret contact with Sadak stunned. So if they go into B-Link here, Navi needs to be ready to sprint back out, which I think they're expecting. Look,
Yeah.
Spike's going towards A. They're peeking into street right now.
Well, I think the thing is, too, for Navi, they got all that control without having to invest very much. Zipan has his knife already back up. Angel just used his dart again.
Oh, and that was a dart from A main. So they break the setup in B. And they head right back towards this split with the drone coming in, forcing these players close.
Oh, what a snap from Aspas. Tui's able to get a second. That was clean. Angel, where are you going, bub? Sight's behind you. You have the spike. Go looking for the fight. Go get the spike down.
Oh, well, it's actually considering how to play in this scenario, knowing there's a lot of players in Art. Knowing how Xiao's already on site, they're going to try to take control of this. He needs to win these fights.
Oh, but he manages to get out of there without taking any damage, which, given how the first couple of shots went, is a major success.
Les is putting them into the pen right now. They are completely boxed in.
Is it comfort for Navi, or is it a problem? Down in numbers, completely surrounded, as you were mentioning, leaving Angel by himself, currently top fragging on the server and looking for more magic. 91 HP, the classic does not connect.
Playing up close inside of Art, this smoke. Navi wasn't, you might have said that they weren't spending util to get the space that they have, but they also weren't getting the util out by Sadat that can go all the way A main for these two players that are pushing up. Without the haunt tagging though, they might not go for it, and Sadak might release. He already used it.
Yeah, he used it at the very beginning to set up what you were just discussing. Drops the fault line, they're able to control the space, get the orb into Kalanzine's hands, who's now halfway to having his Nightfall.
And that is pretty good prophylaxis from Sadak to set up that fault line so that they don't want, Navi does not want to go into A main at the beginning of the rounds at all, because that catches everything and you have no ways to dodge that. So good conditioning.
Bring them down.
Prowler to clear out main, nothing found. Just Tui's filling on the space behind it. Navi with 3, make that 4. Pushing up towards Art, trying to create some pressure across the middle of the map.
They're really trying to find something for CNED here. With this Marshall, the Sheriffs were really good for Loud on this second round. In that first half, Knife spots nothing playing into side secret.
Meanwhile, Sadak's fault line just came back up. Kalanzine has his haunt too.
All this A main control too allows for such an easy pinch onto the players who are trying to get this spike down, and they should try to get it at all costs.
Oh, Xiao was so weak. Oh my gosh, it was the Aftershock that kills him?
Where did that even come from?
Great shot out from CNED to get one though. You would think it's gonna crumble, and that's exactly what...
Feels like they're gonna have a big attempt to reduce this, not from 4 that we saw at the half, but to even it out right away. There's that Aftershock.
He had nowhere to go, man.
Yeah.
HP.
A ghastly bite.
What tools do Navi have? Angel's close to having his ult. The drone early towards B long. 2 spotted.
And despite the drone not lasting as long as it used to, you can still clear up close here. Especially in combination with knives from Zipon.
Concealment.
2's reading the timing and that start that he dropped as soon as he saw the drone. Turns into a smoke, but they're already past it. Sadak already invested his fault line too.
Speaking of investments, that op is going to be real tough to use here when it comes down to it on this retake. But if they do go for a B long post plant, then all of a sudden that kind of changes.
Yeah, I mean, just having Xiao as the controller, there's not as much to break those sight lines.
We have Aftershock as well to break out players trying to play close while they defend the back of sight.
And you are absolutely right. They're not intent on trying to play this down long. They want to take the fight out onto the site. They want to scrap with what Loud have to offer. The dumping of utility backside is Loud. Les pushes into it. In the nano gets 2. And now they swing back out. Angel continuing to frag. Hey, the guy really is in rare form today. It's just a tap, though. That gravity wall's good. And they have so many different angles they can peek out from. This is far from a done deal.
They're going to get half already?
I don't think they're going to be able to. That's big from Aspas.
Span.
He's going to have to hold this the whole way because time is short. He's going to have to get it, and he can't!
I think they probably should have made that decision already. Yeah, there's just... He should have known, too. Probably wouldn't even Marshall since he invested in op last round, but he also won orb away, so if Angel doesn't control B long here, he can certainly pick up the knives.
Oh, and you can tell they want to do it.
He's looking to counter this. That star as well could be real nice. He's calling players over.
Yeah, everyone's here.
Can he get out?
Oh, just barely. I mean, look at his HP.
So that disadvantage they had with Aspas's weapon, suddenly he has one of the best in the game. Whew.
A bold peek out from Aspas.
And I think that's a lot of time spent there from Navi to try to counteract that and not having success on it. In fact, losing Angel too. Suddenly, you're down to 1 minute with very little tools to get back into this. They noted that there was no KJ util right now in street, so they're walking down. But Kaunzin does get the info anyways with that jump spot.
Aspas is there too. You see that attempt at a high-low. Speaking of high-low, Aspas trying to get high ground himself. Savant's timing almost
That's
successful.
He missed all 5.
Yeah, he invested everything. Still has a Marshall. The knife out. And you see Sadak playing up in the smoke, playing up in heaven. He's getting spammed, trying to get peppered through the wall. Les has joined him though. Perhaps that will be enough.
Oh, through the smoke.
I mean, the reinforcements instantly dealt with. Instantly disabled. 3 rifles though for Loud here. In a 3v4. Xiao in a really comfortable position as Zipan is too. This just seems like another lockout from Navi. 2's just gonna have to 1v4 to keep this interesting, and he just
to get, you know, they got some HP down on Aspas at the beginning of the round, but
Headshot.
what is this? They just walk into street and nothing found by Aspas at all.
no. I mean, even the proactive decision making to fight for that orb.
Loud was avoiding this so that they could revamp the map. Here's a dash in with the stun. Aspas getting really deep. And they swapped that late round, by the way. Aspas had a Marshall the entire time, and then they made the call for that play, and they find nothing with the Stinger. 2 Buckies, too, bought up. So that Les can play backhaul, and 2's can play on his smoke at A. The problem is he doesn't have any more smokes.
They're investing 4 towards B right now. On the defensive side, they have the alarm bot and Link. But that's really all the map control they have. No real idea if anyone's pushing up towards Art or anything like that.
And Loud was stacking B, gonna opt away from that. And I wonder why, because Tui's is hearing nothing right now.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just off of timing. Expecting that they would have already hit and they haven't yet.
And it's not the right call. Angel's bringing his team back towards that B side, which is empty. We know that. And Navi, Sugetsu's going to try to figure out exactly what's going on the rest of the side
30
of the map.
left.
That's so sharp out from Sugetsu. Lets himself get tagged by the Haunt, still gets a kill, keeps rotations from Loud towards A.
Yep, it's important too. When you go and hunt for where they're stacking, oftentimes you want to try to bait a reaction out from them, try to spring the trap that they might have set. If you get tagged by something, all of a sudden they're like, oh, there's a player here, let's go for it. Let's make noise.
Yeah. Oh, they've invested the null command.
Shock dart.
They do have a luxury of a ton of money and a couple of other ults still to play around. So I guess why not?
I think specifically just trying to avoid any flashes Sadak might have here. It's pretty key because they have no way to get through that smoke.
There's one of the flashes they were looking to avoid. You see the repositioning, a clean shot out from Sadak.
And they just want to go down to Spike now.
Yeah.
Not give any more ults. Sugetsu could be a guy. He does fall, does get his lockdown up. Back through Americas when they had such success, when people thought they could challenge the likes of Fnatic. Where has that gone?
Hey, it's gone stale. It's gone stale in an attempt to reinvent and reinvigorate. They find themselves repeating some of the same questions. How do we get past this deficit? And meanwhile, for Navi, you know, we've touched on it a little bit, but they're literally doing everything right.
So often this drone from Angel is getting full control of one of these mains. Recall to get CNET across and almost takes down Les too. The important thing is the shift in setup here from Loud after that timeout. Tui swap sites with Les, which they've been doing quite frequently throughout this map so far. It's what you'd expect. But that turret usually was in B-Link. It's set up differently, in front of where that smoke has been landing from the single controller on Navi Xiao. And they're holding on to backall.
30 seconds left.
Timing on the knife, and that's what draws out the fault line and pops a little bit of what they have. But CNET pushing forward, backside. Les is the one who's going to have to challenge, but he's flashed. He can't see a thing. What a setup from Zipan. And then you've got the ult out from Angel. This is beautiful.
Run.
The Rolling Thunder's going to cause serious problems, though. Did they burn the clock too low? Look at CNET. He's got behind enemy lines. Only one found. 4 seconds left. They've got to commit to getting the spike plant down. They do.
Oh.
Angel and Xiao left alone in a 2v3. And do they know Xiao's position? Could he single-handedly secure the round? Could he single-handedly get NAVI to map point? Will they clear him? Do they know? The fault line, they're aware. Calentine on the swing. The fault line causes problems. Angel left by himself.
Still tough to flush him out, and he's repositioning.
That glowing Vandal's gonna happen.
Certainly. Burn the clock a little too low for my comfort, and finally we're gonna get a timeout because of it. Shocking. I don't think Navi expected the breach ult to come in at all, especially with the lockdown in play, thinking that they'll see the Navi players commit into A main. This time they might just do that. Only one stun though. And in fact, it's the opposite now. I think Kalanzine is in danger of getting trapped.
It's such a really nice setup to get A main control, but you're right, now that that is dissipated, what do they do with it? The dart, the dash, and the suck.
It just broke the setup, the crossfire that Tuiz and Kalanzine had. They were both stacked up with each other.
Spike drop.
And CNET's dash pushes them way back. All this to get the orb for Xiao, and we've all seen, especially in the good old glory days of Pearl before Viper Harbor, how much influence this cosmic divide can have on the B site. Just having it, how that has to change your setup for Loud.
Fade utility cleared out, and Navi seeming like they're bunching up and getting ready to strike towards A. Sugetsu, the late lurk. Angel has his dart online. Keep an eye on that. The drone's the first thing out. You see the cloud burst. The knife back sight to make sure no one's back there, and you see the dart lit up too easy. He had no shot. Aspas, though, trying to be able to control things with the op. The site is still lost, and the spike is still planted.
Oh, Angel's dead.
You're right. But CNET once again with the counter. The blades find success. How did Loud get into this? Perhaps waiting for the Cosmic Divide to expire before they pounce. The flash and the haunt to provide some cover. Still cleared, though.
CNET needs to get value off of Xiao's life. In fact, Xiao finds the time to get out, so... That's a spam from Sonic. He just jumps up.
That is outrageous. Xiao hasn't had a clutch moment for a while. He very well maybe do that gravity well. Gets the first, the second out on the Les was so close.
He's off.
And you imagine despair possibly setting into the camp of Navi. Couple of rounds lost, control not maintained.
How many times have we seen this aftershock takedown play? That is nasty. 1v3. Now again, Aspas going quick for this push. The stun misses. Any targets that he might have, but it clears the way for him to get this peak all the way top mid.
Such a nice setup in case anyone was close. Oh! Angel counting his lucky stars there. Meanwhile, CNET has nothing but stars to count for the rest of the round. Another proper heater of a shot out from Sada.
What is going on with the two IGLs today? Both of them taking such risky moments there. Sadak, of course, was not expecting this at all.
No, blindsided. And you question how he got there because there's an alarm bot on the other side.
A knife there. He's always playing backside lesses, so he's very targetable by Zippon.
And they're going to push that backside that you were just mentioning. Targeted with utility, targeted with the Bulldog.
And this has already been a problem for Loud in the last round where Navi hit that B site. He got suppressed, was not able to pop the Nano Swarm for the players to push him backside. So he lost control of that now. Leaves his team again in a 3v4.
Navi playing tight on site too, not playing for this B long play.
And again, we have this Cosmic Divide, but everybody playing in front of it like you just mentioned.
They just handed the op over into Tui's hands. Aspas is going to want to make a play here. He's dropped down below. Kawanzin dealt with. Angel was wise to it. Just 2 remaining for Loud. And a 2v3. Make that 1. Tui's has to save the op. He's got to get out.
Taking that back.
Navi are going to get to map point.
And a big blunder there from Loud, despite even having some success in the early round. Aspas could have gotten a kill. Very advantaged, fighting mid. And nobody calling it out that they could be down mid. It's just crazy. It's possibly here from Loud. And they're just trying to get these peaks from Aspas over and over.
Yeah.
Recalled Star actually forces him back. Angel's gonna find these 2 players pushing as well, which might end up pushing them into Aspas, but he didn't spot the jet.
Navi are going to push into Art.
These timings. It's what won them the last round. This time they're going one through Art. Kawanzin cannot get picked.
He was by himself too. There's really no setup here unless he takes a step back, and there's a cross with Tui's, and there it is! CNET falling, spamming through the smoke is Tui's as he looks for another, but the counter from Zippon is clean. They're trying to tuck tail, they're trying to get away, and there is no exit. Kawanzin stops them in their tracks. 2 remain for Navi, and Angel and Xiao. Spike still in hand, and there's an abundance of money for Xiao, but Angel not nearly as fortunate.
He can't peek here too, because Aspas is on the angle. He has to give it all to Xiao. There, now he can. With that smoke getting put off, it cuts off Aspas's angle.
Do they go forward here? 35 seconds left. Just a pixel.
30 seconds.
This start, they might spam.
That Nightfall is going to get a lot of info.
And they spam the Prowlers here if there's any left. No, none from Kawanzin.
No, there's nothing to follow up behind that ult. If you're allowed here, you want to get out of this, investing as little as possible. You've already dropped the Nightfall. You want to keep the lockdown if you can. 13 seconds left. They're going to commit to getting the spike down, and it falls.
Timing could not have been more perfect on that chase down. Look, there was the Sadak aftershock behind him. They think that nobody's going to push through, but he's ahead of it by just a second. This is a weird buy here from Navi. They walked in the stun 3 players. Thankfully, they got that haunt. Otherwise, they would have gotten sprayed down. No follow-up, though.
I mean, they've done that at the beginning of every round.
Yes. It's like Navi forget about the conditioning that has come through, but also maybe just defying it, knowing it's never amounted to an actual push. It's always been for control only.
It just feels like blatant disrespect, I agree. Calling their bluff, so to speak.
Look at this advanced position here from Aspas. That's where they're walking towards right now.
He's got the op.
Navi have been known and confident in their splits, so have to see if it becomes a thing.
Also note Les's positioning. You mentioned a couple of rounds ago he had been normally playing backside. This time shouldering towards mid.
Oh, that took down the alarm bot right there. With the Hunter's Fury, that's a dash forward from CNET.
The knife to make sure no one's around, but now you're not going to have that for the counter on the lockdown.
Aspas is real in trouble right now. 2 players pushing down B-Long and also through Street, but he's still going to get it.
He's got blades and instantly dropped as soon as they were popped.
stun here keeps him back for now. They need to recover the spike and get onto it.
Ceenet's stuck. He's dead. There's no way out, but he's got it covered.
Hello?
He's got freaking Secret Service detail.
Hello?
And they're never going to catch him. He's just on the other side of the wall. But Kawanzin and Sadak stabilize. Can Sugetsu do it by himself? A 1v1. 8 seconds left. Spike out of hand. 5 HP. The shot's not landing the first time or the second.
No time.
And there's just no time. Holy smokes.
That was close. That could have been it. Navi could have ended it right there. Sadak for so long could have killed him. I don't even know if that would have changed the situation.
No, I don't think so. Given how it played out, probably not.
Oh my God. Got a long way to go. Back into it. And right away, Angel's gonna try to push off Aspas from the top angle.
Dude, that drone is so nice. Given that Aspas would be holding the lower angle, it gets such a high vantage point.
And he switches it up quite often. Look at this, Tui's playing in the smoke. That actually caused them trouble when they were trying to attack into Navi.
Meanwhile, keep an eye on this trap. If they decide to go towards Link, you've got the alarm bot crossfire from Les and Sadak.
As that smoke falls, they use that Prowler. You're absolutely right. If he buys time for this fault line to come back up too, they could definitely have a trap play. And they're re-clearing both sides at the same time in A main. Angel!
I mean, half a second. The only thing separating life from death for Angel, for Navi.
And it's the two new players too, going for a proactive play. They've got more coming.
Look at how far up Kawanzin is. You're right, Tui's is there with them. That 1-2 punch. It's a devastating duo, and can it clean them up? Seeing it top stabilizes for now, but now it's Les. You thought you dealt with it all.
30 seconds left.
But there's more on the other side, and Les's timing is going to be gorgeous. There's no idea.
Oh!
They have no idea, but the pixel betrays them. A regress from Sugetsu.
All he needs to do is just buy time now. They're gonna go into Aspas.
It's just contain. It's just contain. Walking into the slaughter is Sugetsu as he cannot find
On
the...
your screen, you see it. Navi feels the pressure right here.
I mean, what a timing.
What a call as well from Navi to try to come back into this, but Kawanzin and Tui's looking at Aspas' position for the first time. He's going away from B here to play with Kawanzin and Tui's.
Help them up. I mean, Kawanzin is 1 point away from having the Nightfall. If they have that and the Rolling Thunder.
Xiao 1 point off of his too. On the other side of the map though, can't recover the orb. So much into this.
Ceenet's blades and Sadak's fault line. I'm surprised he's held on to it.
They're gonna stay on this. He's gonna stay back sight here, hope that no mollies come into his position to keep him away and cancel this lockdown. Oh no!
Oh, he's gotta get away. He's stuck. He can't find a way out and he's dead.
He forgot about the knife! A crucial mistake that Loud have made before, and that might have costed them the map.
Les on the counter. Kawanzin has arrived with Nightfall, but the Cosmic Divide defines a great line. How do they reinvent their exit through this?
Can't spam it now, but Molly's coming in. Angel might give up his life for Zip-Ons. Still time, though. And they planted the spike in the meantime.
So costly, there it is on the res, but Tui's has an ult of his own. They bring him back to life. They've got the Nightfall that they're gonna invest, and that's gonna just cause so much chaos on the site. The flash from out into heaven, and you see both ults used, dissecting everything. One finally dissipating. Aspas pushing forward, op in hand. Do they dare peek on the other side of the wall? Now they funnel out, it's a flood.
Time running short.
Navi trying to hang on to the control of the situation. It's a 3v2, less than 2. He's the youngsters. The young bucks, can they do it themselves at 2v2? It's all on to Les. 89 HP, the first found, but no idea of the second. Time running short, the gravity well will certainly seal it. Navi somehow maintain control and take